Well, you mentioned something about that job. They wanted to see the value they could get out of the home if they put that money into it and refreshed the entire home. That's really what I was curious to learn from you guys. So Carrie, in your experience, what kind of difference does a remodel make to the value of the home?
Well, like I was talking about these investors that are buying at top dollar, they're coming in on these homes that need to be remodeled, and they're buying them at the remodel price. Say, let's see, one I was looking at today, it's a 450. Needs to be new floors, new paint, foundation problems. There's smoke smell in the house. The yard is nothing but plants. There's no yard for a dog. Um, so if you buy it at 450, put in about, Daniel, what do you think, 80, 100?
Yeah, yeah, average.
Because it's quite a bit. Maybe knock down some walls to have it an open concept. Those in that neighborhood are going for 600.
Mm.
So it really depends on what you do. And of course, sadly, some cut corners. Some people do, and so they get a little bit more money. But I think on this one that he did, what was it, 40, 50,000? Daniel?
The one in Anna.
Yeah.
On that particular project, we had a little bit more to work with because, like I referenced, insurance was taking care of some of the repairs because they had a water leak. But then they did another, I want to say about 40,000 on top of that. So all in all, the project was about 80,000 inside and outside. But they only had to cover
And
about
I think it got them
40,000.
over 100.
Well, with
It got
the
them, what,
roof,
over 100 plus?
yeah, with the roof and everything, yeah.
So, yeah, I
That
mean,
particular,
and like he said, some of it wasn't out of their pocket because they had that water damage. So out of their pocket, they spent 40. Then they netted over 100 something plus out of all of it. So,
Yeah, because insurance
not a
covers
bad
some.
day.
But even if they put the 80, it still would have paid back some. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
insurance covered half of that rebuild, it sounds like.
Yep.
Um, what would you guys say in your experience are the 5 things that someone can do to a home? And when they do those things, it will add that value, whether they're selling tomorrow or a year or 5 years down the road. But what are those 5 things they could do to that home?
Gary, you want to go or you want me to?
Daniel, you want to go? Go for it.
Okay. So what we've seen so far in the market, as you mentioned earlier, so with COVID times, people were trapped in their houses more, and so they have learned that they like to be in their kitchens more. They like to have more counter space. They like to have better cabinets because builder's grade cabinets don't really function very easily. So when we put in cabinets now, we're giving them a lot more functions. There's cabinets that have 3 drawers now instead of just 2 doors in the top drawer. There's cabinets that have Lazy Susans built inside of them, so they can use the full cabinet and still get all the stuff that they want in there. They like to expand their pantries because they're starting to cook more at home now because they're at home now. They may be working from home. So kitchen modifications have been a big time change. Countertops, cabinets, flooring, all of those kind of things like that. That also falls into them being at home. They want to create more office space or more functionality within the space that is traditionally their office. Maybe that first room when they come in from the front door. So we've been getting a lot of requests as far as modifying those rooms, bookshelves, built-in desks, flooring, different things like that to make that more feel like they can utilize it easier. And of course, we've been getting a lot more questions on remodeling of bathrooms. People are wanting to get the full-size showers put in. They're ripping out bathtubs. They're modifying and putting in, bigger closets. Just truly, like we mentioned earlier, people are home more now, so they're wanting to have those comforts more adaptable to where they're going to enjoy them more. And we've been getting hit with a
Make that
ton of
space more livable.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's more enjoyable, more inviting. And then outside, we've been getting a ton of requests for patio extensions, patio overhangs, wanting to put in grills outside, mount electricity for fans and TVs. People are enjoying their houses more, and that's why they're wanting to spend more money in them. They're there often.
Yeah. Well, I know I was guilty, and Carrie, you're the great example right now. But I still am. I love getting out on the back patio and doing my computer work. I'll even take some meetings if it's a casual meeting. So, Carrie, it's a great example. You're on your back patio. The weather's great outside.
Feels
and
awesome.
people want to enjoy not just the indoors, but the outdoor part of their home life as well.
Now, as a realtor, I'm going to tell you, the kitchen and the bathrooms are huge. Flooring is big. It adds value. The office space is more a personal thing for people, so it may or may not. It just has to fit their need.
Yeah.
And an outdoor kitchen with the covering, it can add a little bit value too. You know, just like putting in a pool. You don't get as much back as what you put into it on a
Yeah,
pool.
I hear that a lot. Is that kind of the number one thing that you see people add, thinking, oh, cha-ching, this is really going to add a lot of value, and
People,
it really doesn't?
yeah, pretty much. And it truly, I mean, it can only add 10, 20,000, and people are paying 80, 90, $100,000 to add them in. So I tell people, if you're going to do that, then plan on staying there, because you're not going to get
Yeah.
your money back.
Yeah, and definitely enjoy it. Get in there
Yeah,
all times of the
every day.
year and enjoy it. Yeah. Well, cool. Daniel, were there any others?
No, I mean that's the top ones that we've seen so far. Just normal wear and tear, though, Tom. I think a lot of people don't really look at their houses and their walls and their kids, and so keeping it painted neutral colors is usually a good thing if you plan on reselling soon. A lot of people will paint their houses like mine. I got my office is red. If we go to sell this home, we're limiting how many people like that room. So that's something we try to do too, is let people know, if you're selling soon, you want to stick to your grays, your beiges, your neutral colors, your flooring. You can't stick to a herringbone with gold accents. Some people just don't like that,
Right.
So that's incredibly, and
Think we lost your audio,
I know.
Daniel.
I was going to say I can't hear him either.
Well, he works that out. I'll share a funny story about the home that we're in now. We've been here in our home for about 20 years. And when we first walked in, it was the very first home we seen. And we were looking for our forever home. And we had decided that individually, me and my wife decided that was it, but we wanted to keep looking. Well, about a week went by and we came back to the home and said, okay, let's take another look at that one that we saw the first time. And immediately we knew something was off because the smell of paint just hit us in the nose. And the realtor had brought in contractors to paint over every wall the exact same color. And what we loved about it was how it was personalized with the wallpaper and everything. It really fit us pretty well. We actually loved the personalization that was in that home. But the worst thing about it is the contractor they hired, they didn't strip the paper and float the wall again. They painted over the paper. It was really disappointing for us, but we got a pretty big allowance out of it because we got to go back in and redo it the way we wanted to. Daniel, go ahead, Carrie.
As a realtor, when I walk in and, like you said, with the red wall, I told him, I said, honey, I said, reselling this is maybe going to be a little hard. But, as a realtor, I also walk in and say, hey, paint is not a big deal. If paint's going to keep you from buying, then maybe you need to rethink buying a home, because that's the easiest thing you can do. So don't let that stop you from doing anything. Now, putting in granite countertops or brand new cabinets, that's a bigger deal. That's why those are better upgrades to already do than selling it cheaper with all the builder grade stuff in.